Hey, new Pokemon game. Oh, not much to say yet. Besides, it looks kind of cool. But I'm not here to talk about that today. Today, I want to talk about Persona 5 R and Joker, mainly thanks to a lot of leak information where people have been data mining the game. They've been data mining Smash Ultimate, not Persona 5. They've been data mining Smash Ultimate. I should make that very clear. They data mined Smash Ultimate and discovered that there's a hairband for Joker. And remember, Joker is named Jack, and there's a stage apparently. And the stage is titled like Jack dot Mementos, not Mementos like it's like spelled wrong like, but like it's kind of like it's gotta be Joker Mementos, but so we know like it's even more concrete evidence that Jack is most likely Joker. I mean, I think people already believed it, and this information just kind of makes people say, "Oh yeah, yeah, this is definitely it." Like we already, no one's shocked. No one's shocked at all about Mementos being in the game, but or the fact that this basically confirms that Jack is Joker. We already kind of all figured that out. But and besides, what other character would they be putting a placeholder in for the game when we already know that Joker is the first DLC character? And I think that's why they don't mind so much the fact that Jack was in the code at all, because we already knew he was coming. So, but one of the lines of code for one of his costumes for it's like if you've ever modded Smash 4 like I have, and I know a lot of people probably have. You can already mod Ultimate, but I haven't tried that yet. But for Smash 4, there's lines of code for when you want to apply skins into the game, and they're all called like C underscore XX, and the XX stands for like 00. So the first costume is 00, the second costume is 01, 02, stuff like that. The line of code that I have seen was for C underscore 06, which is actually his fifth costume. That would make sense because that would be. Well, actually, I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me for the reason why that would be there. But like, why would it be his sixth costume? Because that would be the even numbers, which would mean most characters who have female alt skins would go 01. Like 0 is the male, 1 is the female. Unless the main one is the female, then it would be 0 is the female, 1 is the male. So by the time we get to 5, um, shouldn't be, shouldn't, but it was for 6. So it's actually, yeah, yeah. So by the time you get to the fifth one, it should be an even number. So that would be not correct. But either way, I'm not trying to get too confused right here on that, but the point is that costume involves the name Jane and not Joker. It's very. I'm not clear on if it actually changes all the costumes or if it just changes one costume. It seems like it only changes one costume for Joker. People haven't really been reporting on multiple ones, and like I said, the example only showed one costume. And so the reason why people are confused because the hairband belongs to Jane, which is in Joker, and people are speculating that this means that in Persona 5R there will be a female protagonist mode. Now, if you are a fan of RPGs, you know that almost every RPG has a selectable female option. However, narrative driven JRPGs where you play as a main character don't often have the option to have a female protagonist character. Mainly because there's two types of RPGs. Well, there's lots of types of RPGs, but there's some RPGs where you play as a character, like Witcher 3, for example, you play as Geralt. That's who you play as. Whereas a game like Pokemon or Fallout or something like that, you can or a game like Pokemon, you get a character, you can't customize it too much, but you can at least pick if it's a boy or a girl. And then there's games like Fallout where you completely customize your character. So those are like usually what you get. So some people might be thinking it'll be more like Pokemon where you can pick a male or a female version of the character. But the difference between a game like Pokemon and Persona is in everything that the male and female character does. Um, you know, so in Pokemon, if you play as a male character, you don't have any personality at all. You don't have to talk to anyone. and no one talks to you in a way that would be specific to a male. No one talks to you in a way that'd be specific to a female. So the game doesn't matter. Like, people just kind of talk to you like you're a kid, and it doesn't matter if you pick boy or girl. Whereas in Persona 5, um, you are, I mean, let's be real here. In Persona 5, in the very first scene of the game, you're getting beat to shit by the police. You have to imagine, would the police be beating the living crap out of a girl, a high school girl? Well, let's, do you think that's realistic? Do you think that when you are trying to interrogate the gym teacher in the very beginning of the game, would be trying to suspend you and talk shit on you and Ryuji while he's trying to date An? You know, maybe he'd still only want to try to date An and not try to date you as well. But he literally he abuses young men and tries to date young girls. So this is a character who, is specifically sexist in a sort of way. He is misogynistic towards women, and you can't just slap a female character into that game and call it the same unless you basically understand that this is applying a skin, and for the most part the game's the same. The relationships can't be that hard to fix because most of those scenes are side scenes. They don't actually affect the story. So changing some of the relationship outcomes for the male and female characters, that's easy. You just make the female characters not want to date the main character. You just make the male characters want to date the main character. That's easy. Of course, they could be bold and finally do a gay or bisexual option, but Atlas hasn't done that before in the past, so that's the only reason why I'm not suggesting it, guys. For those of you who wanted a gay option in Persona 5, yeah, I apologize. I think they should have done it too, at least for at least one of the characters. At least one of the characters. But I'm not going into that debate right now, and but I will say it would be obvious that they would at least change the male relationships to wanting to date you if you're a female character. But a lot of the other aspects in the actual official story, like, say, for example, the reason why Joker is thrown in jail, or not thrown in jail, sorry. Well, he's thrown in, like, the metaphorical jail in the Velvet Room. But the reason why he's in trouble in the first place is because he tried to stand up for a woman who is being harassed by the main villain of the game, and he got the fucking guy fell down and hurt himself and blamed it on the kid. Would the police really believe him if some teenage girl did that? Would some teenage girl even feel the necessary need to run up and stand up for the woman? Like, how would that go? That would be a lot different. I feel like I really do feel like a lot of the story hinges on the fact that the main character is a male character. It's part of this character's specific journey. It has very male orientated issues, and I don't they could easily make it work with a female. I'm not saying it's impossible, because they already did this with Persona 3 Portable. As many people know, in Persona 3 Portable, you can play as a female character. The thing about Persona 3 Portable is that Persona 3 on PS2 has character models running around just like Persona 4 and Persona 5. You can run around, talk to people, you run around the dungeons and stuff. Persona 3 Portable, everything that's not the dungeons have been turned into like an old school style, like top down game where you click on little events, and most of the game is just a straight up visual novel with little to no voice acting. It's just a straight up visual novel. Actually, I think there is voice acting. It's been a while since I played P3P. But because it's a PSP game, they completely downsized a lot about the game. I still think it's an enjoyable experience for Persona 3, and a lot of people say it's the best version. I would still say the PS2 versions are probably better, but P3P, as a second playthrough of Persona 3 and one that's on the go, is a perfect game for that. And when you play as a female protagonist, the story actually changes a lot. Not in the most significant ways, but people treat you like a female. They don't treat you like a male. They treat you like you're a young high school girl, and that's the way people talk to you. Junpei, who is in the game, is one of your friends as a kid, he's kind of jealous of you if you're a male, and wants to be like the leader of the team and stuff. And the if you play as a female, he like instead just doesn't respect you because you're a woman. He doesn't want to listen to you because you're a woman. So they figure out ways to get to the same outcome, but completely change the trials that each character has to face. So it's like, they understand men and women are different, and but still try to still get the game coming to the same conclusions. And I like that. I think that's probably the best implementation of male and female characters that I've ever seen in a game when it involves both options. So with Persona 5, for people thinking that in Persona 5 R they could completely just put a female character in that would be fine, it really wouldn't be an accurate representation. And it also isn't really the style of Atlus and Persona when they make these games so personal about interrelationships. And they could they do it? Well, Persona 5 R and Persona 5, we don't know how long they've been possibly working on a female version of Joker. Maybe it's been in development for just as long as Persona 5, but they decided to wait on it so that way people could experience the game the full normal way. I mean, Persona 5 was in development for a long time. What did, what we don't know. It is still possible for a female character, but I would say within the time frame, it would be very difficult for them to pull that off. And I think there's a reason why only Persona 3 Portable has the option of having a male and a female. I think there's a reason why. I think that mainly because that game's more of a visual novel, and they just had to worry and focus on the story and the text, versus Persona 5. Persona 5, which is like very story driven, very, way more manga inspired than it's not like a visual novel at all. It's very much so like, it's like watching an anime, reading a manga. And yeah, I don't, like I said, I don't think it's impossible, but we'll just have to see what happens. I mean, Persona 5 R has to have something new about it, something different about it, or else there's really no point to it. Persona 4 Golden, I think, was a really awesome expansion on Persona 4, the original, but we'll just have to see what they do with Persona 5 R. If they want to call it Persona 5 R and it just comes with all the DLC, that would be kind of dumb unless it also comes to Switch. Then that would be completely reasonable and fine. But the idea that Joker will have a female alternate character within the game, I think people say that don't really know much about Persona 5 or don't know much about Persona. I don't think they realize like how unlikely that actually is. And if it is likely, then that would be a perfect reason for everyone to rebuy the game, because if they gave it the same treatment they gave Persona 3 Portable, then that's like a brand new experience with the story. So that's completely awesome. But the reality is, I think it's just very unlikely that there will actually be a female version of Joker. All that time in development will be much better spent on one of the spin-off projects. And in fact, I think it's more likely that there will be a new female character in Persona 5's fighting game, and that might be where this Jane character come from. But really, I don't think this costume is Joker. I don't think it's going to be a female alternate skin for Joker. I think that if anything's going to happen, some people. So now I have to explain what I think this skin is. If it's not female Joker, then what the hell is it? Well, some people are also speculating this is for the character Anne and her, because she has pigtails. So having like a little ponytail hairband thing would make sense because she actually has two pigtails in her hair, and so therefore, the hairband would come in there. But that would be weird because that would mean, is she a part of his move set? That would be very strange. And why is it only that people found a hairband? Now maybe there's more parts to this Jane character. Maybe there's more parts to her, but we're not exactly sure. Either way, so far it's what we found. And also sometimes leakers are just, and people data mining the game, they might find something wrong, or maybe Nintendo only updated in so much and it's not the full character yet, so whatever they're doing with this Jane character isn't fully implemented yet, and we'll know more later when more is updated in. And we might not get anything updated in until Joker's out in April. So, one more month, and we'll probably get a reveal of Joker coming soon. So, no need to be too upset about it yet. Um, and either way, so what would Anne be a part of the moveset? Well, I honestly don't think she would be a part of any of the attacks because it just doesn't make sense to do that. To just have her run out and teleport in for one attack, unless she's always following behind Joker. That would make absolutely no sense because Persona 5 is a game with a four-person party, and so I get it that the game's about relationships, but just having one of the characters, and how would you choose which character and why would you choose on and all that other stuff, like it doesn't ring true to Persona 5 or Joker or any of that stuff. So that is just making like an Ice Climber style character is completely out of the question. Having a character that teleports in just for attacks is completely out of the question, especially because there's literally personas, they're basically stands from JoJo. Like, they literally just fly up, teleport in, do an attack, and then disappear. So the idea of doing that for human characters when you have all the personas to choose from doesn't make any sense to me. Also, the only thing that Ann would really fit in would be if she's possibly in a victory animation or if she's in the all out attack. Now, characters from Final Smashes appear in victory animations, and also characters who are just significant to that character can appear in victory animations. We know that from Little Mech, as his coach will appear in some of his victory animations. For Piranha Plant, he will attack Mario in some of his victory animations, and for Robin, Chrom will appear in some of Robin's victory animations, and Chrom is a part of Robin's Final Smash, so that makes sense. It makes more sense in Smash 4, makes less sense in Smash Ultimate, but, whatever. So, for as far as Joker's victory animations, I could see him having one by himself where he like recreates uh, his finishing screen for when he does all out attack, and then I could see him having some where he does something next to An, or some next to Morgana, or some next to Ryuji. I think that would be really cool, especially because like those are the first three characters, and Morgana's extremely iconic for Persona 5. He always has, when Morgana's not with them, as in the in the whatever, the dark world, whatever it's called, the spirit world from Persona, whenever he's in like the normal world, Morgana is just like a normal cat. So yeah, that could be really damn cool. Um, and so yeah, I think Anne could be a part of the victory animation. I think Anne could be a part of the final all-out attack. I think some of that is like a given. I don't know so much about victory animations, but I feel like the all-out attack, considering other characters appear in Final Smashes, like Mega Man's and Shulk's, I have no. I feel like everyone already knows the final attack or the final smash will be the all-out attack. So it's just like we all know this, and there's no way Sakurai's gonna not include the all-out attack. Like, it's just ridiculous. So it's probably going to happen. However, especially because of how cool it looks. Uh, However, um, what we're going to get with this ponytail thing, I have another theory that I haven't heard other people talk about, and that it might involve one of the personas itself, and maybe the personas change appearance depending on what costume you're in. So, look, that's just my guess. I don't really know, but that's just my guess that maybe the ponytail involves that specific costume because of a specific um, persona that he's using. That ponytail will go to that persona, and maybe why the name is Jane and not Joker's, because it doesn't go to Joker, it goes through another character, and maybe that character is based on a persona, and it's, maybe the persona's code name is Jane. That's my best theory. In fact, I think that's more likely than it's for On, because normally the character model stuff isn't in the same line. Like you're not gonna find pieces and parts for Mega Man X and all the other Mega Mans and Proto Man like lines of code for their skins and stuff. You're not gonna find that in skins for Mega Man. Instead, you're gonna find skins for Mega Man that involve like his arms, because his arms change when his gun comes out and stuff like that. So that's what you're gonna find. You're not gonna find stuff for like Proto Man and Bass and Mega Man X and the Mega Man Legends and Mega Man EXE. You're not gonna find that stuff in Mega Man's line of code. So you're not gonna find An and Ryuji and Morgana in Joker's line of code, for example. So it makes more sense to me that that line of code involves a persona. And the reason why I wanted to really make this video is because I just think that female version of Joker is extremely unlikely. The game didn't come out that long ago, and I don't know if they would really push to make a female version of Joker. I don't think it's that necessary. I don't think people. I mean, people would play it and buy it because it's a new story that they put out, but it's whatever. Maybe they just wanted to. Maybe they will do it, but I don't think it's impossible. But I just want people to know that that's a big task. It's not as simple as just putting a female skin in the game and calling it a day, like, and changing some of the relationships. I mean, the entire story would have to be radically changed to incorporate a female main character, which again, not impossible, but just saying. So anyway, I will conclude our video right here, right now, and yeah. Basically, I'm just excited for Persona 5R, and I'm excited for Smash. So, and I guess I'm excited for Pokemon. Alright, guys, I will stop this video right here, and I'll see you guys in the next